Hey, welcome to the 3 Things I Learned. Saas, Sports, Tech, and Live Events. Disruption meets the Super Bowl week. This week, the crowd at the Super Bowl in Los Angeles here is far different than the crowd at our first Super Bowl 20-something years ago. And it's a harbinger of disruption that's about to come. Think of what Moneyball did to baseball and to how teams were built when Beane and DePodesta changed the way that industry worked. We're starting to see that happen to the front offices of sports teams, but on the business side this time. And it's coming in the form of quants, MBAs and JDs that are coming from venture firms, private equity, gaming, and other high-powered institutions. So let's talk about the 3 things we saw this week. Apologies, we're not going to heavily edit this one. It was a very crazy week and we're low on time. So let's get started. The fraternity of the front office will be over soon on the business side. Front offices are full of people who work their way up and paid their dues by working as an intern, selling tickets, or the like. I was one of them. Now what happens is a lot of those people like security and consistency. They looked at the people before them and said, hey, they spent X amount of time doing it, then they got their turn. Now it's my turn. The problem is some of them don't pay attention to the disruption that's happening in other industries and didn't keep up with the trends. They were more interested in buddying up with the people around them and creating this fraternity. Well, disruption comes for people who think like that. So we've been working with bankers and people in the gaming industry for a very long time, and they are wildly intelligent. This is the Ivy League set, this is the Stanford MBAs, this is Juris Doctorates. These are people who are wildly intelligent founders. They look for inefficiency, and they eat it for breakfast because that's where the money is. If they can find an efficiency that's only guarded by ego, and somebody who doesn't understand the business beyond that, they're gonna go there quick. They're coming, they're here, and they're hungry. That's number 1. Number 2, there's a misunderstanding in the sports business as to what early really is. As things are being disrupted, fear takes place and people start to wonder what's next. Hey, we fall into that trap too. They start to look at things and they come to us and they say, I want to get involved in things that are early, like the secondary market or gaming or health and wellness tech. And they give examples. We were pretty early into the secondary market. I joined StubHub in late 2004. StubHub was founded in 2000. I wasn't that early. FanDuel, I have a friend who sat on that board as they went through some really difficult policy changes within the government. That business has been around for 13 years. They're not that early. And Hyperice, my good friend Jim, who I admire a ton, he's been there 8 years and the company's been around for 12. A lot happens before these businesses enter our collective consciousness. So what we see as early in our industry, for an industry full of people that are usually paid on employment contracts and guarantees that don't have a lot of stock options, is really not all that early. We're just joining in the later stages. That's number 2. Number 3, this conversion is going to be rocky. There are a lot of people on the team side, on the business side in sports that don't understand terminology like KPIs and CAC and unit economics and the like. It's not how they run their business, it's not what they understand. A lot of times we refer to businesses that might be tech when they're really agencies. There's been a lot of acquisitions recently where we've seen tech companies picked up by other consultancies or agencies, and they don't disclose the price because that price and that multiple is at an agency multiple. You see, scalable businesses are different because scalable businesses, think Instagram with its 11 employees when they were purchased for $1 billion, don't need to add headcount that coordinates with the revenue that's coming in. That's scalable business, that's scalable tech. Sports is just now starting to understand this, and that's going to be difficult for them as they move forward. If you want a great example of it, read Michael Ovitz's book, where he talks about selling his first business as an agency and then moves into something with a much higher valuation. That's it for this week on the 3 Things. We hope you enjoyed. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we will see everybody next week.